Hello, everyone, and welcome to the She Shoots podcast, Women Empowering Women in the Shooting Community, Season 4, Episode 44. Her aim is true. Canadian women dominate the IPRF Worlds. My name is Regina Ruiz Ordóñez, and I'm from the Canadian University Shooting Federation. And joining me today, as always, are Deneen Tomlin and Casey Gavinchuk from Lady Guns, and Kelly Melanson from Project Maple Seed, Sunfire Radio, and CCFR Women's Program. I would like to start by thanking our sponsors, Cabela's Canada Outdoor Fund, positively shaping the future of the outdoors. Every cent donated by rounding up at checkout goes towards helping Canadian organizations just like ours. Beretta, family-owned and operated since 1526, and Vortex, the best in optics. If you have any comments throughout the show, please, or questions throughout the show, make sure to leave them in the chat box below. Doing so will allow us to ask our guest live questions for you. So that's it for me. So over to Kelly and Deneen for our guest introductions, please.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Regina. Hey, Kelly. We got a good show tonight, and we got so many women to talk to. We're going to do it in 2 shifts tonight. So
yeah, we are.
Who have we got on tonight? Our full roster. I'm going to read through, and then I'm going to explain a little bit about who, what they were doing, and they're going to tell us who they are and about the event. So tonight's group is Paige Koster, who is an RO with the event for Canada, the Canadian women's team, Jess Tischler, Dorthy Lee, Lisa Hertay, and Estelle Boon, and our Canadian junior team, who are on with us right now, Eva Jones, Peyton Stevens, and Avery Jolicoeur. So I'm going to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the IPRF before we get into some questions. So the International Precision Rifle Federation is a federation for field and long range shooting. It takes place from various positions and distances with a limited par time. So all of these competitors need to have an understanding about their ballistics to compensate for wind and distance, and the competitors are divided into different divisions. So we're going to talk to the national team tonight, national teams. And so I just want to break that down a little bit. Each nation can enter a 4-person team in the different available divisions. They're made up of 3 or 4 athletes per division and category. The top 3 scores count towards each team score. The 3 highest scores from each athlete contribute to the overall national team score. And then the national team with the highest score are the world champions. So who are we talking to tonight, Kelly?
Well, we have some great youth shooters on right now,
All
part of
right.
the youth team. So welcome to the show, ladies. It's great to see you. I know a couple of you personally, but it's very nice to meet you. Now, there was one more youth shooter that was part of the team, correct? But he's a male, so I'm sorry, but we're not having him on tonight. We're having the ladies, because the ladies, I have to say this, you guys really kicked some butt. The whole entire Canadian team kicked butt, but in particular, the women, the youth shooters, as well as the women's team. You guys really did well, and you represented Canada so well. So thank you for coming on tonight and agreeing to come on.
So I think we're going to have to start directing questions because
I
ladies
think so.
aren't jumping up. So let's start with
what
Peyton.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, Peyton, why don't you introduce yourself? Where are you located? And tell us a little bit about you and how you grew up with shooting, or did you grow up with shooting?
Okay, my name's Peyton. I'm in Southern Ontario. I was originally born in Australia and started shooting there a little bit, not much. Moved to a farm in Canada, and I only started competing about 3 years ago and absolutely fell in love with it. So.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
What about you, Avery?
I am 15 years old. I'm just east of Ottawa, Ontario. I started shooting at 5 years old, and then around 8, I started doing competitions, and I think it was 9 years old where I participated in Project Maple Seed.
Yeah, it was.
So ever since, I've really been in love with it, and I've been doing it for 10 years now.
You're a fantastic shooter, and it's so great to have you on the show because, yeah, I met Avery when she was just knee high to a grasshopper. And it's great to see how far you've come in the sport and representing Canada as well. So
I love we have a seasoned veteran at 15 years of age. That's
yeah.
fantastic. All right. Our next shooter.
Peyton, what about you?
Eva.
Yeah, Peyton.
Oh, sorry, Eva.
It's fine. Well, hi, my name is Eva. I'm 16 years old, and I started. I live west of Montreal, and I started shooting like 4 years ago with my dad. He introduced it to me because he was like hunting and everything, and then I just started like doing really competitively only 2 years ago.
Yeah, and you also attended a Maple Seed as well.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So it's really great. Your whole family is actively involved in the sport. So incredible again to see you and how much you've progressed over the years. So welcome to the show, ladies. And again, as I said, it was great to see how well you did well, why don't we talk about what was the match you attended? Where was it? Who would like to talk about that? Peyton, what about you?
Sure. It was in England, the World Championships. It was such an amazing experience. I think there was 26 countries that went, and so many people were there, and it was just such an amazing community. It was really fun with a really quite like probably the most challenging COF I've ever done. So
awesome. So when we say COF, what is that?
The course of fire. So just what you're shooting. It was all 12 rounds, all 90 seconds, with a lot of movement.
Awesome. Okay. So
would that be considered dynamic long range shooting with movement and precision requirements?
I'm not sure, honestly. Probably.
So you're shooting off of different positions and you're shooting out different distances, correct?
Yes. And girls, correct me if I'm wrong. I think our furthest target was 204 meters.
Okay. So, Eva, this was rimfire, correct? Whereas last year, the Worlds were center fire.
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell me what type of rifle you were shooting?
Well, I can tell you, but I don't know it as much. My dad does all this stuff, and I just shoot, just being me. But I shoot with an MDT chassis. Okay. I have an Apex scope because I'm sponsored by them. Okay. My action is a CZ 457 MTR. I have a trigger, it's a Timmy, and then I shoot Elite match. I have a bag, it's from Boss Gear, and yeah, I think it's about it. And my tuner is from Red Knot.
Okay. What about you, Avery? What's your setup?
I shoot an Ultimatum Deuce with an IBI barrel, an MDT chassis, Trigger Tech trigger, 2-stage diamond, an Apex rival, as I'm also a Team Apex shooter. Mm-hmm. I shoot Ely match. I received a Boss Gear bag as well.
Okay.
And then for my tripod, I don't know what the tripod is, but I have Apex binoculars as well.
Awesome. What about you, Peyton? What are your setup?
I shoot with a CZ457 with a Grey Birch chassis, which is so light. I'm also sponsored by Apex, so I shoot with an Apex rival, and I have an IBI barrel, and I shoot with Lapua.
Nice. So it sounds like Team Apex is really supporting you guys, eh?
That's right. So shout out to Apex and great job supporting our team.
Yeah. So as we talked about, there was 4 shooters on the youth team. However, it was predominantly female, obviously, with you 3 representing us. How did you get selected for Team Canada? Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Eva, how did you get selected?
So to get selected, you need to send your score to Capra. You have matches that you've done in the past 2 years that you can send them. You have to respect some rules. I think it's like you need to have more than 40 shooters at the match. It can't be a home match, so you have to do like big matches so that the scores are like equal for everybody. And finals or big matches are more important. They're like kind of worth more, if you want to say.
So it weighs more. You get more points for that, do you?
Yeah, like kind of the selecting everybody kind of weighs more. And then you just send your score and then you wait for the result. You get them about we got them like September, October-ish, and then the Worlds were in August, so kind of a year before.
Okay, so you were notified a year before for this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Peyton? How did you get selected?
Yeah, the same way. It's a lot of qualification with the matches, and then you submit them to Capra, and then it's the long, anxious waiting to find out if you got selected. And yes.
So what are some of the matches that you attended that you were able to submit for?
A lot of the NRSs that are larger matches with over 40 people. The CRPS finale from 2023. And they can't be the same location, so it's a lot of traveling to compete. But yeah, mostly NRSs, I think.
Okay. And Avery, what type of matches were you attending? So it sounds like you had to attend a few of them, right?
Yeah, because they can only count like the 2 past years ahead of the Worlds.
Okay.
And then they also take the top 4 youth. But I know for me, I had a special case because in 2023, I did not shoot as I had multiple concussions.
Oh, no.
So we used 2022 scores, which is why I don't remember them all exactly because that was 3 years ago.
Okay.
But I know that I had like NRS, I had most likely a CRPS, and then I started traveling also into the States.
Okay.
So a couple in the States.
So it sounds like, yeah, you do have to do a little bit of traveling. And so you 3 are all from this area of the country as well, Ontario, Quebec. So it sounds like you probably have met each other at different matches, right?
Well, if I can speak, Avery and me we do a lot of matches because the matches that are closer to me are like kind of where she lives or in the States. So most of the time we shoot together. Peyton is a bit further, so we don't see her as much, but I did see her a couple of times when I shot matches before.
Okay, so for qualifying. All right. Do you want to talk about the match itself, the Worlds? What was your thought? Now, we were talking a little bit about the Course of Fire. What do you think of the Course of Fire compared to the matches here in Canada or down in the US? Do you think it was a tough match, Eva?
Well, I think it was a tough match, that is for sure, because we're not used, as Peyton says before, it's 90 seconds, so we're not used to that. So it's a lot to deal with, and it's all 12 rounders. We're used to like 12 or 10, but with more time. So it's a lot to do in all once. And then we also had angles that we're not used to. So the target were in the angles, so you needed to add that. That is also another factor. I think the match was tough, but it was like a good match. I really want to like do other match like that. I think I pushed my limits, and then it just like kind of bring back the tough part about what shooting is.
So what about you, Ava? Or sorry, Avery?
Well, I remember starting like back when I was way younger. I remember matches were always like 2 minutes, and then it was 90 seconds, which is a minute and a half. So It's like, since I've started, I've had to get rid of 30 seconds entirely, which now I can finish within a minute 45, but I know I timed out on a couple too many stages that I would have enjoyed finishing. So it was definitely challenging, but I found like they weren't overly complicated. They were fairly easy to like understand. It was just a lot of movement, short time, and then 12 rounds. So
Okay. And you had to get it off. So you timed out on a couple of stages, but for the most part, you were able to get through off all your shots, were you?
a couple.
Yeah, a couple. Okay. Peyton, so what was your thought of the course of fire?
It was definitely challenging, but there were some stages that was so much fun. You either finished the stage being like, I just had the most amount of fun, I want to do that one again, that was great, or you left being like, I'm ready to throw my rifle in the mud. Like there was really, I got frustrated for some, and I mean, I get frustrated when I don't hit my goals sometimes, but they were really fun, and I did struggle with like how much movement there was. There were times that I was getting like puffed halfway through, but overall they were so enjoyable. It was a really well written out course of fire. Like sometimes you can shoot one and it's like, it was confusing to understand, but Worlds wasn't. You could understand it really easily and it was enjoyable to shoot.
Okay. Where exactly was it? And was the terrain pretty flat, or was there hills?
It was actually on a motocross track. It was and a skeet shooting range. So it was half and half. So going through the motocross hills, it was really like like Eva said, the angles were insane. And the dust and shooting through trees, which is something we don't do very often, but shooting through trees makes the wind switch directions a lot. So it was tricky to figure out. But then when you got to the skeet shooting side, the range was a little bit easier. So day 2, the wind was a lot easier to figure out than day 1 when we were shooting through the motocross tracks.
Okay. And it's a 2-day event. Are you used to doing 2 days? Yeah, everybody's shaking their heads.
Finales are 2 days. So we've done a couple, but it's not the standard, right? So
yeah. So we were talking about goals, Peyton. Were you able to achieve your goal, do you think, personally?
Personally, I was not. I hold myself to a high standard, and the nerves kind of got to me. It was an atmosphere and like an environment that I'd really never been in before. It's so hard to explain, but there's so many amazing shooters around you from literally all over the world that I honestly don't know if I could have prepared for it. Like nothing really prepares you like being there. So shooting wise and like fitness wise, I felt that I was pretty prepared. But mindset wise, when you get there and it's very overwhelming and it kind of hits you all at once that, oh my goodness, like I'm at Worlds. I think the nerves kind of hit me that day 1, I did not achieve my goals.
Okay. Well, I think that you all did really, really well. We're super proud of you, but I know that, we as shooters hold ourselves to a really high standard. But again, Eva, what place did Canada and the youth shooters come in overall?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that for youth the youth team came. My dad is right there to help me.
Hi, Gabriel.
Hello.
So the youth came 4th overall, and I think overall with all the categories, Canada came 3rd. Yeah. So we did a pretty good job. We were close to the podium or on the podium. So I'm really proud of everybody that was on the team. We did a great job.
You did do a good job. So what about you? Were you able to achieve your goal? Were you happy with your results?
I was happy. I did a couple mistakes that I could have not do, but I think I'm pretty happy with what I came with and what I was prepared with and what I did. I'm pretty happy. I could be more prepared. Like if I go for the next world that I'm trying to do, I think I'm gonna be more prepared and maybe have a better score. But I'm still pretty happy with what I did.
Yeah, I think that you did fantastic. And Avery, what about your own personal goals?
Well, first, youth came 4th in teams, and Canada itself as a whole came 3rd.
Word.
But I agree with Peyton. I have very high standards for myself, and I did not achieve them all, except I'm super happy I went because I got an amazing experience, and I really hope that will help me if I can get into Worlds in 2 years. I really hope that could help and then I could do better and actually hit all those goals.
That's awesome, because that's the next question that I had for you guys. What's next? What are you preparing for next? Are you going to go centerfire, or are you preparing for the Worlds that are in 2 years? Because it changes each year, right? So rimfire 1 year, centerfire the next. So Avery, what are you going to do? Are you going to... What's next?
I started centerfire in March this year.
Mhm.
So I don't have the scores to be able to go to Worlds next year. But I would like my goal this year is to do a lot more centerfire and a lot more rimfire, so I can make Team Canada 2027 and hopefully Team Canada 2028 for centerfire. But as I just started centerfire, I don't think I can make it.
Well, I think that those are really great aspirations and goals. If you're talking about how they calculate your ability to participate next year, maybe not for next year, but the year after. But yeah, for rimfire, I think it's very achievable. You were there this year, right? You can go the year after. What's next for you, Peyton?
I'm currently in grade 12, so I would love to go to Rimfire 2027, but I also don't fully know what's going on after graduation. I don't know where I'm going to end up in the world. So while it's something that I would love to do, and I'm heavily considering like trying to qualify and working for it, I also am kind of conscious that I don't fully know where I'm going to be. So it's something that I hope will happen, but I mean, I don't know what the future holds, so we'll see.
Okay, well, we're hoping that you'll continue to represent us. Can I ask a question? You say you're in grade 12. So what's the qualification for a youth shooter? What's the age range?
18 and under for rimfire, and it's 20 and under for centerfire. I'm not a centerfire shooter at all. Have never touched a centerfire gun. Honestly, don't plan on it. It's not my style personally. So if I were to go in 2027, I would be working to qualify for the ladies team because I would be 19 at that point.
Perfect. Okay. Eva, goals for next year and beyond. What are yours?
I'm planning on continuing shooting, so preparing for the finals, every finals in PRS. I don't do centerfire. I tried it, but I don't really like it, so I'm not planning for that. So I'm really trying to work on myself, get better at shooting, do the finals, and then go to the Worlds again in 2027.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good goal. So I have a question for you guys. I know that we're doing things a little differently tonight. We're going to have the ladies team come on, or ladies contingent come on after this, and we'll let you go because again, we have so many. Isn't it really incredible how many women were representing Canada at the Worlds? So because of that, we can't fit everybody all on the same show. So we have to do it in shifts. But with that, a couple of things. You are all sponsored shooters, so let's make sure that we give a shout out to your sponsors personally, and then I have another question for you before we let you go. Okay, so Eva, why don't we start with you with who are your sponsors?
So as I told before, I have Apex, then I have also Buzz here, no sponsors, and then Will, who is a guy from Stittsville, he did a really good price on the ammo, and then I'm missing someone. I also have a personal sponsor, which is Scott Jones. He's the match director of Green Mountain Rifle Challenge in the Vermont. He was really helpful. He's really a nice guy.
Awesome.
And I think that is it, pretty much.
MDT also.
Oh yeah, MDT I did not say. Sorry.
Okay. And a shout out to your dad as well.
He does a lot of work.
Yeah. Stittsville has been amazing support for you. I know that. And so a shout out to them, Will, who is one of the managers there. So congratulations on that. Really good sponsors to have for yourself. Avery, what about you? Who are your sponsors?
I am, again, Team Apex, so obviously Apex Optics, IBI, MDT, Trigger Tech, Boss Gear. Then I have Stittsville Shooting Range, so again, Will, and Stittsville Precision Series. Oh, and my lovely caddy, my dad.
Your dad. Everybody has their dads coming with them. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Pascal. Peyton, what about you?
My main sponsor is Apex Optics. I don't have any like other company sponsors, but Guelph Rod and Gun Club did donate to me to come to Worlds, and I'm so grateful. I found my love of shooting at Guelph, and they're so amazing there. And then, of course, my mother and father that fund everything and every new thing I want to buy and every trip. So
wonderful. You guys did. So Lisa's mentioning, Lisa's going to be coming on here in just a second, but she said you ladies did an amazing job and we're proud of you all. So I second that too. The question that I wanted to close out before we switch over to our other team. So if people wanting youth shooters and females wanting to get involved in PRS, rimfire PRS, what recommendations do you have? Avery, what about you?
Well, for the past few years, I volunteer at National Range Day at EOSC. So already I see a bunch of young girls, because EOSC is where I did my Kids Day, which is how I got into it 10 years ago. So I love to always see the little chipmunks. They're so cute. And I always tell them to continue because they always end up finding it absolutely super fun. I'm like, you should really continue. And then when they, like, this year I went with my Team Canada jersey. So then they saw, like, where it can lead you. So I think it's just really important to always remind people that, like, no matter what, it can lead you really far in life.
Yeah. And you're also the poster child for National Range Day. You're that picture. It's across the country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Peyton, what about you? What recommendations do you have?
My recommendation would always be to start with an ORPS. They're lower level, 2-minute times. You only go out to 100 yards. It's where I found my love, and I think it's really a beginner. Like, it's how you can kind of ease in without being thrown in like the deep end. But yes, I've seen so many young girls come to competitions, and I've never seen anyone not fall in love with it. I also have a bright pink gun, and I think that's so fun when I get to show up and these young girls keep like watching me do it, and I love getting to let them shoot my gun, and it's fun because I try and empower girls, and then to have everyone be like, oh my goodness, it's pink. So it's so much fun. But I would recommend starting with an ORPS or something lower level and still being competitive in that level, and then being able to build on the competitions.
Great advice. Yeah. Eva, what advice do you have?
Just go to match, really. I know it can be stressful or scary, but everybody's so nice. Everybody's gonna help. You don't have to come with a big gun. You can start with small. If you have questions, everybody's there. Is nice. There's like no stress. If there's something, they're gonna help you. Just go to a match, see how it goes. And then you don't have to be good at first. Like, it's hard to deal with time, deal with targets, dope, and everything. So even if you don't get good scores and everything, just go through it. I started in doing like 0s, 2s, 4, and I was happy. Like, you gotta continue, and at one point you might be good at first, like, you don't know, but just go to a match, see how it goes, and then yeah.
So it sounds like you have some great recommendations for everybody. And again, you're representing Canada, and you know what? You're our future of shootings. Deneen, you haven't been asking any questions. Do you have anything before we let the ladies go?
I've been trying to ask questions, but there was so much good stuff being said that I just kind of sat back and enjoyed the show. So thank you, ladies, for what you do. Thank you for being incredible poster girls, to steal from Kelly, for the sport, ambassadors for the sport, and for getting out and volunteering to get young girls to see what you're all about. I really applaud you for that, and I look forward to seeing where your journey takes you. I had a whole bunch more questions about mental preparation and time changes and what it was like, and hoping that you guys got some time over there to just be you and not worry about the shooting for at least a few hours. But I don't get to ask those questions now. So I'm teasing. I thank you so much for coming on tonight. And I know we have to make space for the other team. So I'll just leave it with that. But thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, ladies. What we'll do is we'll allow the other ladies in, but I think those are great questions, especially for our women's team. Some of the ladies that have already been on the show before previously, and these are great questions for them. So I'm going to take maybe a little bit of a step back, and Janine, you can ask those questions. You good with that?
I would love to. Love to.
So,
all right.
Again, ladies, thanks so much. Great to have you on. There's some great comments as well. If you want to hang out and watch while the other ladies team comes on. And then, well, thanks again so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Bye, girls.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Thank you for saying it.
Thank you.
But no, really, thank you so much for having us.
Our pleasure.
Really nice.
All right, Kelly. Well, I think Casey is in the background making the magic happen and bringing the girls, all the women's team on, and Paige on as well. So we've got 3.
There's Story, and we're waiting for Estelle, it looks like.
Yeah, we're waiting for Estelle.
Yep.
Those are
great. Those are great questions to have. I think we have the right ladies to ask those questions too.
Absolutely happy to. I was super enjoying the cadence of the first group and sitting back and watching the show. And so now we have a chance to talk to the Canadian women's team and Paige, who is an RO for Canada or with Canada. And we've saved all the hard hitting questions for you ladies. So buckle up. No, I'm kidding. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. First off, welcome. Thank you for your patience in joining us for the second half of tonight's She Shoots podcast with Canadian women and dominating the IPRF Worlds. So again, we have Paige, Jess, Dorthy, Lisa, and Estelle. And so we talked to the girls tonight about where you went, and it was in the UK. Where specifically in the UK were you? Just for our audience to know. Paige, where did you guys do all this?
So this was close to a town called Market Drayton. So if to kind of give everybody an idea, it's north of Birmingham, one of those big cities there. So I think it's about an hour north from there. So it's kind of in the countryside, beautiful, driving along, except I did find out that they have a lot of hedges where you cannot see going around the corners. So it was very interesting. First of all, you're driving on the wrong side of the road. Second of all, you can't see what's coming around the corners. So it was a fun experience for sure.
Outstanding. Thank you for sharing that. So we heard the match was 2 days long. Jess, how many days did you guys go over for to get yourself acclimatized and prepared before you shot the match?
So I was there for 2 weeks total, and I went about 5 days before. I went the Wednesday night. So we flew over the Wednesday night, landed in the morning Thursday. And then our first range time was Saturday. And then our actual team one was on the Sunday.
All right. So did everybody have different amounts of time that you had the chance to stay over? Estelle, how about you?
Yeah, same. We just flew over a couple of days before. And well, as I found out when I got to the UK, melatonin is a prescription over there. So could not rely on that to help me get over the jet lag. So if anybody's going over there to shoot a match, bring your melatonin yourself.
All right. Words of advice. Great to know. All right. Well, so that was something I was curious about when we were talking to the girls before, but what we haven't done yet is actually found out where you ladies are from. So I'm going to backpedal a little bit and just go around the team here, and if you can tell us where you're from and where you shoot, that would be greatly appreciated. So let's start with Lisa. Oh. We don't. We are on.
There we go.
There we go.
I got it. So I'm in Kelowna, BC. I shoot locally here and I host matches here. I don't know. I've been doing this since 2021.
Excellent. Thank
Yeah.
you, Lisa. Shout out from British Columbia. That's fantastic. Okay, over to Dorothy.
Hi, I'm from Ontario, and I shoot a lot with Avery and Ava, actually. We go around Ontario shooting and as well in the States. I started around 2020 to start competing. I was actually interested in shooting before I met Matt, who's my husband. And when I found out he had a gun license, we jumped on our first date in the shooting range. And it's just escalated from there.
That's outstanding. And thank you for sharing that. We've met a number of couples that shoot together. So I think obviously that's a, pardon the pun, match made in heaven. All right. Estelle, how about yourself?
So I'm based in Squamish, British Columbia. So like we're just right between Whistler and Vancouver. I actually had to look this up, but my very first match, which was an ORPS match, was in October 2022. I remember I was just rolling around on a bucket that was on the side. Did not go well. And I don't think I really started taking it seriously until I started seeing kind of footage coming from the Rimfire Worlds in 2023, which was in Italy, and that was, I think, when I started to take things a little bit more seriously. But yeah, it's been 3 years.
Thank you, Estelle. And Jess, let's hear a little bit about you.
So I'm Jess, and I'm 17. I'm from southwestern Ontario, kind of near London. And I've been shooting ever since I was really little, and I did my first maple seed when I was 8, I think. And then kind of from there, I took off and I started with ORPS, and then I got, built my love for it there. And then I just recently, in the past couple seasons, I've kind of branched out into centerfire. And last year I actually was on Team Canada for Centerfire Worlds, which was a really fun experience. And then this year I was again on Team Canada, but I was shooting ladies this year rather than junior.
That's amazing, and congratulations. And Jess and Paige, you've both been guests of ours on previous episodes, so welcome back.
Well. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So let's talk about how expensive things are and how you paid for them. So it can't be easy to get on a plane and take a bunch of gun stuff over to the UK and then figure out how to pay match fees and all of your accommodations. So did the team do fundraising, Dorothy, or do you guys do it all individually?
So the organization that picked the team is Capra. They did a lot of fundraising for us, and they got donations from big companies. And so all our registration fee was paid by them. So that was taken care of. But in terms of accommodation and transport, that came mainly from us. There was also some smaller companies or big ones that gave little trinkets for bonus stages where we were able to also like at a match at the end, they would have a bonus stage and we collected money from that too.
Outstanding. Okay. So there was some support. So on that theme of support, Lisa, how about the rest of the Team Canada? And what I mean by that, husbands, wives, kids, supporters. Did you guys travel with a bunch of people carrying your bags, or did you have to do it yourself?
Well, personally, I didn't do it. I know other people did it. It would be, I saw a lot of dads and husbands and wives and everything. This was a team event, and it showed, and the whole family supported the whole team. That's
great news. And we always talk about the shooting family on all of our podcasts, how the community is a great group of people, and it's always starts at home with the moms and the dads and the spouses, and so that's great to hear. So when you guys were over there and you got to get to site and start looking at the course of fire, what was that initial feeling like? Estelle, how was it for you?
I would say this match was my complete anti-style. I'm very used to on average, a minute 45 stages. Like I'm pretty comfortable and used to that. 2 minutes, great. You can have a picnic in between. But showing up and we knew it was going to be 90 seconds, and I knew it was going to be a big push. But you get there and then you realize it's 90 seconds. Every single stage is 12 shots. It's a lot to get done in a very small window of time. The match style is quite different from the North American style that I think most of us are probably used to. It was quite rare for you to have, well, what I consider a double tap. So, like you would engage the target and you would typically have a second chance to then see if you miss, which side did I miss? I can correct and maybe get my second impact. This one, there were a lot of single target engagements. You were just moving, and it made it difficult to make corrections on the clock. You had to really be on it to see where your shots were going. So yeah, a very challenging course of fire, but I would say up to the standard that it should have been for a world championship.
Outstanding. That's an excellent explanation. So on to that explanation, I want to flip to the other side, and I want to lean into Paige, because you had a different job. You weren't engaging targets. So tell us a little bit about your role over there, Paige, and what it was like for you.
Yeah, for sure. So I went over this time to help out RO. So I was ROing stages. I did all 4 days. So it was a long haul for sure. I started the first 2 days. We did stages 1 to 10. I was on stage 5. And then on the last 2 days, we then went, the rest of the stages from there. And I was on one I like to call it the MDT castle, because I was the queen of my own castle there. So I kind of made it a little bit fun. So because you had to walk all the way up the stairs onto it, you had a sea can, and then you had a wooden structure on top of it. So you had to walk all the way up the stairs. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience dealing with personalities from all over the world. So I've done stuff here in North America, but not a ton of chance over in Europe. But everybody seemed to be very polite, very responsive, and I was there pretty much to make sure that nobody shot themselves and had a good time, right? So
right.
And
so
good, right?
Yeah, so let's back that up just a little bit in case somebody's watching or watches it on YouTube and doesn't know what RO stands for. I just want to go, what is an RO? And what are the things that you're there to look for or to make sure happens or doesn't happen?
For sure. Yeah. So RO stands for range officer. So on each stage, they had 2 RO spotters. So they were set up. Well, it was nice enough. Fat Boy tripods and Apex optics set every stage up with 2 tripods and 2 binos. So everybody had glass and tripods. And then my job was to kind of run the whole stage. So I gave the stage brief. I was the one with the timer, the tablet, making sure that the shooters were in their order, letting them know, hey, next 3 shooters, make sure you're ready to go. You're up, because having that many shooters, it would have, if you don't keep them going, it's going to backlog and you're going to be there till like 8 o'clock at night. And you always have to make sure, make sure they're unloading, showing clear, or loading up, and that they're not coming off the line with their mag, and making sure safety first is paramount. Second is scoring and timing. So you have a timer there to see do they get their shot within the last, couple seconds, do they get it or not? And then making sure that the next shooters are ready to go and that the next one gets off the line fast so we can get the next shooter in there. So that's kind of what my role was on each stage that I was doing there.
Thank you. That's an excellent explanation, and I'm sure that'll help people understand what you're up to. And when you did that, I understand you received quite an honor and recognition. So
yes.
Tell us what you received and who decided that was what you were going to be recognized at.
For sure. Yeah. So I was very unexpected honor of getting top RO out of all the ROs that were there. So this was decided by all the shooters. So they were given an email with a list of ROs saying who was your favorite. So this is all by the shooters. So this wasn't by the organizers, just by the shooters that were there. So I got the top honor. So I won a trophy and also one of the tripods and bino sets that was there. So I got to go home with a new tripod and binos. So it was a huge honor. I was very unexpected because I was just there just to help out where I could, because I don't shoot rimfire as much. So I said in some capacity, I wanted to make sure I was there to help out where needed and make sure that things are, running smoothly, because that is one of my, I can say, skills. I'm really good at moving people along nicely, but with, a little bit more oomph to it. So so they're not sure. They're like, I'm a little scared of her, but she seems too nice. So, but at the same time, making it fun, because at the end of the day, yes, it's a competition, but you also want to make sure you're having fun. Yeah. And there's nothing worse than being on a stage and you have a grumpy RO and you're having a bad match. And it just kind of helps reset your brain. I find with some people, have a little bit of a laugh, relax, breathe, and then move on to the next stage. Right. So that's why I try to make sure at the same time, hey, they have fun while they're coming through.
Great words of advice, queen of her castle. Congratulations on the honor. So I haven't chatted with Jess a little bit more about your highs and your lows. What was your favorite course of fire, or maybe your team's favorite course of fire? And what were the high points? And then I want to flip over and ask a few of you guys about the good, the bad, and the ugly, some of the low points.
So for me, I don't know. I don't have a favorite stage. I like them all. They were all like really dynamic, which I really liked, because like you have to be like super fast, but you also have to like make your impacts, and like because like you can't really miss fast enough, so you have to like be like what's the word? Like you have to be like intentional with each shot, but also like keep it moving. I like the day 2 course of fire a lot more than day 1, because it was more dynamic and had more of those stages, which aren't as like popular, which I like to have like a little bit of, like the change and the challenge from like the new course of fire style. I don't know. I think my very last stage, I think would have to be my favorite one. It was stage, I want to say 11, 16, I don't know, somewhere in there. I don't really remember. It was like on a tree, and there was 3 different sets of targets, and there was 4 positions, and it was just a lot of fun. It was like a really fun feeling to like come off. I dropped 1 because I was worried about my time and I forgot to hold over, which is I made no mental mistakes going into that. And then my last stage, I was like, hey, this is a really good match. I haven't made any mental mistakes. I've been really on it. And then I'm my first shot was a mental mistake. But I got everything else after that. But it was a really good feeling coming off, because I shot really good that day and I was really happy. And a lot of like the Team Canada was already done, so they were waiting there, and I came off the line and there was a whole row of them, and I was like, oh, hey guys. So that was a really fun moment from the match, which was really good.
Thank you. I bet it was amazing turning around and seeing your whole team behind you. Hey guys, that's awesome. So Lisa, we've talked about some of the high points. You were nodding on the up in the tree. So
I like the tree one. Yes, I did like the tree one. My absolute favorite, even though Jess is right, everything was amazing. I like the double tank trap KYL. That one was that was fun. That was a good one. We had 2 tank traps, and we had 2 KYLs at different distances. So that was my favorite.
So the high points we've touched on. What about 1 or 2 either courses of fire you didn't like, or moments that were mentally rattling for you that you were able to recover from?
Well, it was my first Worlds for once, so it was very overwhelming. It was like everybody stated, there's the top of the top shooters at these matches, right? And to be exposed to them and to watch them was amazing to watch. And then I had a issue on my first stage, so that kind of mentally got in my head. So I know now I have a mental game I need to work on, which is what I'm working on now.
Good for you. Excellent. And great advice. So Kelly, you had some great questions with the group before about goals and recommendations. Why don't we run through that right now?
Yeah, why don't we do that? So everybody, let's talk about the goals for the match itself. Jess, what was your goal, and were you able to achieve it?
I honestly, I went into it and I was just like, I want to go into it and I want to feel good about like what I put out there, which I feel like I'm proud of what I put out there, and I did my very best that I could. I wanted top 5 in the ladies category.
Woo-hoo.
I came 6th. So I was really close. And one stage kind of like took that from me, but like it's okay, because like there's gonna be that stage at every match. But I learned from it, and I used my goldfish mentality, and I went and I cleaned or dropped one on the next one. So it's about my recovery. But I just wanted to go out and I wanted to like shoot how I know I could, because I worked my butt off this year and last season to really make sure I was prepared and like ready to go into this like match, because the ladies team this year was so strong, and I knew I was like, hey, I need to like put my best foot forward and like help this team out as much as we can, because we had a lot of potential. And I feel like I did. I'm happy with it.
Awesome. Can I ask you about keep swimming upstream?
Yeah.
What was that?
So that's like my little motto. That's like my little thing that I say is like just be a goldfish. So after a bad match, it was the Apex stage. I love Apex, but sorry, not a good stage. it was on like a prop. That stage, I don't know what happened. Nothing went right. I got out of sequence. It was just a little bit of a crap show, but I came off of it and I had my moment. And Steve Borsellino actually was there, and he kind of gave me his little pep talk. Same thing with that regionals this year. I came off of a bad stage, and he was there and gave me a little pep talk, and we were good. And then you just leave it behind you and like kind of forget it happened, learn from it, but just kind of like move on, just keep swimming, because like the second that you let one bad stage get to you, then it's just downhill, and that's not going to do any good. One bad stage is better than having like 3 bad stages, because you're still pissed off from that first bad stage.
Very sage words of advice from a goldfish.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's jump in with Dorthy. She's right in the middle of my screen. So Dorthy, what were your goals and did you achieve them?
My focus was very much on the team aspect. I really wanted to help the team be able to achieve as high as possible, and very glad we were able to get that 3rd place, ladies. I knew it was going to be a very tough match. It's also my first world championship, and I found it very humbling, because I normally shoot with the open guys, and they're like top in Canada, and I've always managed to be within like top 10 of every match. But coming to the Worlds, when you realize your scores isn't that impressive compared to everyone else, because everyone's scoring high, it just brings you back. And but I told myself that I was going to have fun at this World Championship, and I'm just going to do my best, and whatever happens, and I will be happy about it. Like, I made it as a decision. And I'm very happy with the results.
Awesome.
Excellent. Estelle, over to you.
I think similar to Dory, I came into this match with I had individual aspirations, I'll say that, but really it was very much a team mindset. And yeah, I am just so proud of how we did. We got 3rd. Just put it out there. We got 3rd. I'm so proud. I think everybody really put in the time this past year. And, you know, every match is an opportunity to learn and figure out how to do better the next time. I think the fact that we're all on the team, we all have a very competitive spirit, and I think we come away from each match wanting to do better for the next one. So, yeah.
All right. And over to Lisa. How about you? Goals and aspirations, did you achieve them?
I didn't do as well. I will admit that, as well as I expected. I think my nerves got to me. So as I said before, it's learning that mental game. This sport is a lot of mental game, and that is what I'm working on for the next one. My goal is to make the team the next time around.
Awesome. Keep swimming.
Yeah, exactly. She came up and told me so many times, it's a goldfish. It's a goldfish. I'm like, yeah.
Just be a goldfish.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So I want to flip over to Paige. I just got a note that we didn't let you introduce yourself, but can't really turn back time. But here's what I'm going to do, Paige. I'm going to ask you not only to introduce yourself, but because you work in the industry, I am going to also ask you the first of what we call our final questions, which are what would your recommendations be for ladies to get into the shooting sports, and for you especially, maybe also into the shooting industry as a career path? So introduce yourself first. Let us know who you are.
All right, sounds good. So my name is Paige Koster. I currently work in the marketing department at MDT, which I know there's a lot of people are familiar with the chassis brand, but if anybody's not, we produce competition chassis for bolt action rifles and accessories. We are a Canadian company, so we're located out of Chilliwack, British Columbia, which I also reside in. Beautiful British Columbia with the mountains. And yeah, I've been there for about 4 years. I wasn't in the industry until I got into this. And then once I got to MDT, I'm like, I got to try this out. Like, this looks like a lot of fun. I did have my PAL already. I used to shoot handgun. Then I switched over to the long range shooting. So I kind of started off slowly by doing rim fire matches in Chilliwack. So we do run some here. We can go out to 200 yards, which is nice. Ryan Stacy, Josh Botha, and Anthony Bujak, they are ones that run the beast, have run matches there before, and they all have different styles of doing it. So it's been really great to be able to have them close by, because each one will run a match a little differently. So it's a little bit more of a mind, like we said before, it's a lot of mental game that goes into it. But the great thing about it is we're starting to grow the sport more. So that includes actually having loaner rifles. So if you don't have a rifle already, I know you look at these huge, big, expensive rigs, and it's like, don't worry about that. Like, just either you can contact me directly. I am more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction. Or if you have any questions, I'm always happy to help. You don't have to have a rifle. There's a lot of places that will actually have loaner rifles for you to try out. So you don't have to be like, well, I don't have a rifle to shoot, so I can't afford to, buy a rifle and get all this stuff. They're always, we're always trying to grow it and put those loaner rifles, or I'll have extra rifles for people, because I want more people shooting, especially women, because I think we're awesome and there needs to be more of us in this sport. So I love any opportunity that I can get to go out to the range. It never feel like you're bugging me, because I am so happy when I see new ladies on the range and new ladies competing. So the best thing to do is to reach out to somebody that doesn't match near you. You can find them on Practice Score or Impact Scoring is where local match. You can kind of see where local matches are. Join groups on Facebook. Like, there's PRS groups that you can join. For example, the one here in BC, we call it BC PRL. So we'll let you know, hey, this is up and coming. This match is, you can come and watch. It's not like a boys club where it's like, no, you can't come watch and see what's going on, right? Like, we encourage people just to come and watch and get an idea, so you're not too nervous when you do come, because then you kind of feel like, I don't want to look stupid in front of people, because us girls, you know how it is, right? We're always worried about how we look and are we doing it right? We don't want to, seem silly and like, am I even holding the rifle right? And it's it's like, don't worry about it. We're more than happy in this industry to see you shooting out there. Like, we're never judging. And if I see somebody judging, I'll just go over there and smack and be like, knock it off. Like, we don't have this here. So don't worry about it. And everybody is fully aware in the industry that I will go and do that. So they know when they see me coming that it's like, hey, knock it off. This is like, we're here to do this together. So it's an awesome sport. I would definitely encourage people to get out there, even watching it at first, and then taking the next steps, because you'll learn and see tons of stuff, and you'll get tons of advice from people, and then also know where to go after that. Because then you meet people and they're like, hey, I come to the range once a week on this day. And then you can kind of like team up with them and be like, hey, is it okay if I come by and like check it out? And because sometimes maybe you don't want to shoot until, you try it once by yourself, like with somebody at the range, not a bunch of people at a match. So I would say definitely check out the local areas where they're shooting, and just go out and do it. Like, everybody has to start somewhere. I started somewhere. I'm still learning. I am still failing, but you know what? You learn through failure, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's fun, and you get to meet a lot of cool people, and which I have met across this industry. I've met tons of people, which is awesome, and tons of people from the other side of the world too. It was kind of like a reunion, because I shot in the Worlds last year at Centerfire, and I got to meet like half of them that I knew already from Centerfire. So it was really cool to be able to meet up and talk, and you have common goals and common interests too. So it's an awesome thing.
Thank you, Paige. You know, something you said made me remember something I heard one time. And, you know, we always say, just get out and check it out. Just get out and give it a try. Just get out. And we, the gun industry, will be happy to loan, to guide you, to help you have a safe and fun day. But the one thing I do know, and it's a statistic about women, is we'd rather be invited and feel welcome than just show up. So it's our job as women in the sport and in the industry to invite new women and make them feel welcome, not assume that they're going to call us and say, hey, can I come hang out with you? So that's my challenge to all the ladies that are listening. So Kelly, I think we've got some more recommendations on how to get involved, and we need to know who these ladies' sponsors are.
Yeah. Why don't we go around the table or the screen? Why don't you talk to us or let everybody know who's your sponsors, because we want to recognize them. Without them, you wouldn't have been able to get to the world. So Lisa, why don't we start with that? Why don't we start with you? Who would you like to give a shout out to?
My shout out is to Athlon Optics. They are my sponsor, and also Gunsmoke, who totally redid my gun, new barrel, new paint job, everything. Absolutely amazing people. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have made it.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Lisa.
Dorothy, what about you?
My sponsors are DP Gunworks, who did my CZ457. I'm also sponsored by Go Big Tactical, Boss Gear, and MDT. And of course, I have to thank my coach, Womfat.
So on that note, do you want to give everybody your handle on social media as well? Because you are actively involved too. So why don't you let everybody know who you are?
Yeah, so you can watch me on YouTube on Womfat's channel, but I do have my own Instagram, which is Womfet, the feminine version of Womfat.
Womfet. Awesome. I love it.
Okay. Estelle, what about you? Who are your sponsors?
I also, I'm an Athlon supported shooter as well. So thank you, Athlon Optics, for the glass. Helps me see downrange, get my impacts. And also a really big thank you to the Courtenay District Fish and Game Association. They sponsored a very generous award at their at a very big Summer Sizzler match last year, and I was able to get top lady there, and that was awarded to me. It went a long way. Thank you so much, and so shout out to Lyle and Rick, who are the match directors out there. It's on Vancouver Island, amazing facility. Everybody should check it out if you're in the area. So thank you to both.
Yeah. All right, Jess, what about you?
So, my first and foremost, my dad, he's been, here since day one, obviously. And, he's the money behind it all. So without him, I wouldn't really have any of this. So thanks, Dad. He's sleeping right now because he's going to work, but he'll watch it at some point. And then I have Go Big Tactical, which has also been with me since way a long time ago. Yeah. And they've also been a really big supporter in helping me grow as a shooter. And then I also have, my gun's actually right behind me. We have US Optics as well. So I'm on their pro staff team as well. And DI Precision, he helped me out and then rebarreled my Voodoo this year, which was amazing because it's a laser now. It's so good. And then I got KRG helped me out as well and gave me a little bit of a break on their C4 chassis from last year, which I'm also using for this year because I really like it. And then Trigger Tech as well gave me a trigger, which actually is gold and with my name laser engraved on it, which was a really nice little surprise to get in the mail. I was like, oh, thanks. And then I think that's it. And then there's obviously other supporters who's also helped me along the way, like my family and everyone who's donated towards me. And yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Paige, do you want to give a shout out to the company that you work for or anybody else that sponsors you?
For sure, yes. So, of course, first and foremost, MDT, MDT Sporting Goods. They have been awesome. They have been able to help me go to a lot of matches this year. That's why I've been able to go to the UK twice this year. I've been around to a bunch of matches. So being able to, spread the MDT love and help answer questions. And I also deal with Peterson Brass for centerfires, so they help sponsor me. So I shoot a 6BR, so I've got the best 6BR casings, and recently now shooting with Collis. So they had nicely helped me out with not only a scope. I have the 328i. I also have some Swaro binos, which I know in the industry, like it is the next level on binos there. Like I know they are a little pricey, but they are 100% worth the money. I recently used them at a match about a week and a half ago, and it's amazing on what you can see through those for mirage and just the little bit of wind moving in that grass. So they've been amazing so far. So that's who I do when I do shoot. That's who helps me out.
Wonderful.
Can I add something as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I was in rimfire mode. I also forgot that I'm also on Team Peterson. And also as a group, we'd also like to thank Capra as well, because they've also been a huge help, and they've all the members have donated their time to help like making this like event run smoothly for the Canadians. And they did actually all of our paperwork that we had to send to bring our rifles and ammo into the UK. So that was a big undertaking for them. So thank you to all of Capra.
And thanks, Jess, for recognizing them as well. Deneen, do you want to still ask that question we always end our episodes with?
Sure, I would love to. I'm going to ask the hard-hitting question about what one thing would you suggest to get more women into the shooting industry. I know, Paige, you were leaning into that a little bit, but before I do that, I just want to say how impressed how about some English here? How impressed I am with you ladies and with your amazing answers tonight. I know everybody that's been watching and listening has enjoyed it, and those that will, when it's live on our YouTube channel, will really enjoy it. You're so well spoken as individuals and on behalf of the sport. So Canada is very lucky to have you representing them. All right, so the last question of the evening: what one thing would you suggest or recommend to get more women into the shooting sports, whether it be your particular sport or any of the other ones? Estelle.
I think this was already covered, but showing up is the first step. And I'm kind of Vancouver based. If there are any ladies in the area who are interested, please, by all means, reach out. I am always so happy to talk about the sport, about how to get into it. This has been one of the warmest and most welcoming, supportive communities that I've joined. It's very intimidating, but people could not be more helpful. They'll probably start putting gear in your hands. But really showing up to even just check out a match, I would say, is the biggest way that you could get yourself involved, and just learning more about it, and then deciding if you want to try it out or not. It doesn't have to be show up and shoot a match. Just show up, check it out, and people are always happy to talk to you.
Good one. And if somebody wants to reach out to you, Estelle, do you have a social media handle?
Yes, I do. It's I'm on Instagram, and it's just E Boon. So my initials, my first name and my last name.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, Lisa, how about yourself? One recommendation and your socials.
Same thing. Just reach out, jump in. That's what I did. I just was helping out at a match, and I said, okay, I'm going to try it. And I got hooked. So the same thing is just reach out. Same, it's my full name, either on Instagram or Facebook, but I'm willing to help. And the biggest thing I heard at Worlds was another shooter from another country said, isn't this amazing? This is a big family reunion.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's awesome. Something I took from that is that, and that calmed my nerves while I was there. That's all it was. It was a family reunion.
Thank you for sharing. So if people are looking to expand their family, go find part of the shooter community that you feel most comfortable in, and adopt a few people, I guess, or have them adopt you. Yeah. All right, Dorthy. Dorthy, over to you.
I would say even if you don't have someone to go with you, just go out and try a competition. Like everyone said, it's very welcoming. I've heard people who have seen Matt's video and see me shoot tell me that, hey, my wife is thinking about shooting. What do you think about that? I am very much not coordinated. I'm not a sports person. I used to hide pamphlets away from my mom so she wouldn't sign me up to sports. So to get me shooting, Matt really had to push me. And if I can do it when I have no muscles and a huge couch potato, like anyone can do it. So
That's
like just go out there.
amazing. Oh, I love that, Dorothy. Thank you for sharing. All right, Jess.
I can say the same thing that everyone else did, is just go out and shoot, because the community is amazing, and there's going to be about 1 million people trying to hand you different bags to use, or, oh, here, try this, or they'll be on glass and watching your misses, watching your impacts, and, oh, you're turning high, you're turning low, you're missing to the right. Like, everyone's just there to help you, and, like, everyone's welcome, and just show up and shoot, because that's the first step, and then once you're there, you're hooked, and it's just up and up from there. And you can find me on Instagram mainly. I also have a Facebook that my posts like go to, but I don't really check my Facebook that much. But my Instagram handle is just jess.tischler with 2 R's.
Thank you, Jess. Now, did we capture recommendations and advice from everybody? I think we did, Kelly.
Yeah, we did.
And I'm proud of us for having 2 groups of ladies. We've only gone over 11 minutes, so I am very proud of us tonight.
I'm very proud of us as well. It took a little coordination, and thank you, Casey, for doing that. But we truly, again, I was saying it to the previous group, how incredible is this to have so many women that we have to break it up into shifts, that we have everybody coming on. You guys did such a great job of representing Canada. Amazing. The results showed as well. Did we mention where the women came? I don't know. Did we answer that question? Lisa, you're shaking your head no. So how did the women place overall? Third. You were on the podium. So that's amazing. Yes. And then again, we did cover how Canada did. Canada placed 3rd overall as a whole entire group. Again, representing our nation so well. And we're so proud of each and every one of you.
I'm just going to interrupt because Estelle has asked if she can take the opportunity again to thank Capra, and you go ahead.
Yes, sorry, but we would be remiss if we did not mention the very generous support that we got from many different companies across the industry. Too many to name, but their logos are on here: Lapua, MDT, Apex Optics, Hirsch, Precision, Loophole, Go Big Tactical. It takes a village, and we are tremendously grateful. Thank you for getting us there.
Well done.
Well done, and thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Great comments on tonight's show as well. So again, before Rahina comes on and talks to us and does all the business with respect to our sponsors and getting some questions as well that pop up, why don't we just take a minute again to say thank you, ladies, very much for coming on tonight. We're very privileged to have you as a group come in and speak with us here on She Shoots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Rahina, you're up.
You're on mute.
You're mute.
I am just waving my hands, talking, and I'm definitely not. You can't hear me. Casey, do we have any questions for the ladies before they go?
We do not this time, but we did have a lot of great comments. So those are popping up on the screen as we've been going.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. So I will go ahead and just talk about our upcoming events. So as we all know, school's back in order. Kids are in school. Universities are back and running, which means that our university clubs are also back and running. So if you want to reach out to us to figure out if there's a club at your university, you could do that. Or if you're interested in potentially opening firearms club at your university. Also, you can send us out an email at submissions@CUSF, and we can help you getting that started as well. Other than that, if you want to volunteer for the CUSF, you can send us an email at submissions@CUSF, and make sure you're coming because, as She Shoots told you, they mentioned it to you. Other than that, that is it for me for upcoming events for the CUSF for right now. Kelly, are there any Maple Seed Labs for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we have lots that are coming up, and we're still adding them for the rest of this year, and we're also adding for 2026. So this weekend, I'm going to be headed out to Blue Mountain and doing a ladies' seed, so specifically a ladies' range day that's going to be taking place there. And yeah, so if you're interested, Southwestern Ontario, we have some dates that are being populated now that we have Russ Rodriguez, who is one of our shoot bosses, who went over with Team Canada, and he's back in Canada now. And so he's going to be doing some events in Southwestern. So those that are listening who've been asking about Southwestern Ontario, stay tuned. Watch for the events to be populated in the calendar. That's it for us. What about you, Janine?
All right, I'm going to lean in a little to the time of year called hunting season. So I have had a number of ladies out for shotgun lessons at various clubs, mostly AHIA in De Winton, Alberta. So shout out to those gals who just decided to give it a try because they want to love their dogs more, meaning they want to take them out and do what they do. So I'm teaching ladies how to shoot shotguns so that they can go hunting birds over their beautiful dogs. So that's outstanding. And I give a shout out to the girls wanting to give that a go. AHIA still has ladies' nights and youth nights on Wednesdays. And personally, I wrapped up my first ever dog trial season more as a supporter than an operator. But my puppy cleaned up a little bit, so I'm a little happy with her. So there are some rifle sighting clinics coming up for folks that are into that, and some first-time hunter opportunities for pheasants and deer and elk in and through AHIA here in Alberta. So I'm trying to do what I can to help out, volunteer, get more people out on their guns, and like I said, over their dogs. So that's kind of where I've been focusing and plan to till the end of season.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap up today's podcast. So once again, thank you so much to Cabela's Canada Outdoor Fund, Vereda, and Vortex. If you like today's episode, please leave us a like and follow us so you don't miss out on any of our episodes. You can watch us on YouTube and Facebook, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. If you liked our message and would like to learn more about our programs, check out our websites at cusf.ca, ladyguns.ca, and mapleseedrifleman.com. To support us and get some additional perks, check out our membership programs. Thank you all for tuning into the She Shoots podcast, Season 4, Episode 44. Her aim is true. Canadian women dominate the IPRF Worlds. Make sure to join us October 14th for the next episode of the She Shoots podcast, which we have some potentially cute guests coming on. So we'll see. Just keep watching our social media pages for the announcement. But other than that, you can watch us at 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, or 8 p.m. EST. Thank you all so much for watching us today. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for having us.